Hi guys, welcome to Indian Express. I'm Sampada Sharma.
And I'm Rohan Nahar.
And today we're discussing Manoj Bajpayee's new film, Sirf Bandaa Kaafi hai, that's now streaming on Zee5. Apoorv Singh Karki has directed the film. And in the film, Manoj Bajpayee is playing a lawyer who goes up against this godman person. Rohan, what did you think about the film?
I thought the movie started off okay. I didn't really have any expectations going into it because it's Manoj Bajpayee has done a bunch of these Zee5 movies and they aren't very good. But this one at least started off as a real movie. It felt like, oh, they've gone to a place and they've, taken cameras there.
It's not green screen.
It's not green screen, bare minimum,
मतलब level कितना नीचे है हमारा कि अगर कोई green screen नहीं हम खुश हो गए.
Yeah. Especially in like a Zee5, streaming kind of situation. Anyway, but then it kind of gets caught up in like a web that it creates itself where it doesn't know what to focus on. It doesn't know like here is the forward motion that we need to be aiming for. There's too much like confusing timeline switches. We don't really understand where it's going. We know how it ends. I mean, it's based on a real story which some legal hassle is happening right now about. But the main character is a person who exists in real life, P.C. Solanki, the lawyer.
Yeah.
But then towards the end I was like, I'm not involved anymore in the story, and it's a important story to tell, and even though I am on your side, I'm not involved in the movie.
Okay, so there's a difference between appreciating a film's message and what it stands for versus criticizing that the film in itself is probably not so nice, and Sirf Bandaa Kaafi hai is probably not the best movie that they could have made given the subject that
Given
they
the
have.
story.
Yeah. And also the timeline thing, I didn't really understand how many years had passed because it all felt like कि आज हो रहा है, कल हो रहा है, परसों हो रहा है और सब ऐसे एक-एक दिन, दो-दो दिन के गैप पे होता जा रहा है. Also the storyline in terms of Manoj Bajpayee is a lawyer who's arguing with another lawyer, but it's like वो अकेला लॉ की पढ़ाई करके आया और किसी को आता ही नहीं है लीगली कुछ बोलना, क्योंकि उसी के पास अकल है कि अरे मैं बताऊंगा. And you're like, बाकी सब पढ़ के नहीं आए हैं क्या? और बाकी सब लोग लॉ स्कूल नहीं गए हैं क्या?
And at least 2 of the 3 lawyers that he goes up against are based on real people.
Yeah.
Who are very famous people. You would imagine that they're more, as they say, learned. But इसमें it feels as if, I don't know if this is like they took court documents and like transcribed किया कि ऐसे argument हुए थे कि नहीं. I don't know that. But then as it's written in the movie, it seems as if they want to put P.C. Solanki on a pedestal and the others they want to deliberately show as ये तो idiots. So it's written in that way, ha, got you again. Yeah, P.C. Solanki got you again. He's so smart. It's that, and that gets annoying after the first time, and they do it like 3 or 4 times. Like
they do it many times in the movie, yeah.
And again, just watching a lawyer on the spot come up with a winning argument is not interesting. I need to see him think.
Yeah.
I need to see the process. I need to see him in a legal thriller movie. I want to see him poring over documents, records, that kind of stuff, which is maybe what I expect. But here it's just like, here's a rousing scene. Here's another scene in which you're gonna clap. Here's another scene in which you're gonna clap. I'm like, ये real नहीं लग रहा मुझे अब.
मेरा another problem with any film like this, like Sirf Bandaa Kaafi hai, and which is the thing with most films, where from the start you know who's right, who's wrong, and you're already with these guys कि हाँ ये तो सच्चे हैं, अब इनको कैसे, how will they win is the game. But यहाँ पे तो we know they will win also because the story is based on true events. So I know they will win. I know they are right. The other guy is wrong, and they are not going to win also. So you already know how the film is going to end. So the process is your movie, but the process never really comes in.
We don't see the process.
We don't see the process.
We only see the final act of the process kya tha, which is in the courtroom delivering zingers.
Yeah.
That's all you see, right?
And उसमें भी the last courtroom scene where Manoj Bajpayee has forgotten कि मैं कितना अभी तक logical arguments कर रहा हूँ और मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि अरे मुझे पता है law के बारे में, आप लोग पढ़ाइयाँ नहीं करके आए हो, वो वाला सब चला गया, and suddenly he is also on the same footing as the other opposition lawyer guys कि अरे you guys are misusing religion, now let me tell you a mythological story. And you're like, this is not even the same movie.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the same movie. A, in terms of the argument that he suddenly uses, and B, the movie goes from being this relatively like procedural kind of experience into something more theatrical. okay, here is something that you were probably expecting, the audience, right? You walk into a legal kind of thriller courtroom drama movie and you're like, where are the big speeches and all that? You're like, we'll give it to you. So that's what happens in the end. But then also the larger problem of that final courtroom scene, which a lot of people are appreciating, is that PC Solanki's outrage comes not from the character, the woman who was victimized. You know, it's not like उसके साथ तुमने ऐसे करा है. It's like, how have you disrespect my religion?
Yeah.
है ना?
Because by then everyone has forgotten about the woman, which is
the biggest problem of this movie, right?
Problematic.
It says that this happened to this one woman and the woman is missing from the entire movie, right? PC Solanki in that opening scene, which is a good scene, where he has the first meeting with the woman and the parents, and he's like, okay, he's very like methodical in his approach. He's not emotional. So when he is emotional in the final scene, you're like, oh, I get you. But then in that opening scene where he's talking to the woman and the parents, she's like, it's going to be a tough fight. You know, be prepared. They're going to throw everything at you. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then you don't see it.
There's only one scene where she's in her school and two cops are basically जो उसका security है, they're following her around and other girls are looking at her like, ooh, that something is happening. But apart from that, you never see any consequences for her.
Yeah, it's a perspective problem which it goes down to the title. सिर्फ एक बंदा काफी है. नहीं, लड़की जिस आपने बोला है कि लड़की के साथ हुआ है उसकी भी हिम्मत है. नहीं, एक बंदा काफी नहीं है ना.
But picture को recognize नहीं करना है.
Which is a fundamental issue with this movie. As good as Manoj Bajpayee is or he isn't, you know, he's fine, he's good, he's dependable actor hai. But then I feel if you're gonna tell a story about a crime against not just one woman, many women, right? Tell that woman's story. Maybe. What happens?
I'd probably like invest more scenes for that.
Make her a character at least.
Yeah.
You know, instead of here is a archetype.
And you never get to know anything about her.
Don't know anything about it. They use her as an archetype. Na? She is like so many others, and that's all we're going to like do about it. Here is the and end में also Manoj Bajpayee is doing Holi and everything.
जब वो उसी के साथ सारा celebration हो रहा है, उसी को सब बोल रहे हैं, कंधों पे उठा रहे हैं, उसके ऊपर colors फेंक रहे हैं, and the girl is somewhere sitting alone and crying out of oh my god, finally I got justice. पर वो एक shot आता है.
It's a dangal situation, like where the girls are winning, but the camera is focused on Amir Khan, and they haven't learned anything in these years. I'm sure other movies have also done this one.
But यहाँ पे तो big problem.
Especially because that was a sports movie. This is like real life implications with relevant topic. We talk about this every day. So very basic things that maybe would have made the movie better. And the movie deserved to be better.
मेरे को तो टाइमलाइन भी बहुत नहीं समझ में आ रही थी क्योंकि बड़े सारे कोर्ट रूम्स थे एंड आई एम नॉट लाइक अ लीगल एक्सपर्ट पर्सन हु अंडरस्टैंड्स दैट हाउ लॉ फंक्शंस. तो मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा था व्हाई वी आर इन वन कोर्ट विद विपिन शर्मा एंड देन वी आर इन अनदर कोर्ट विद अनदर लॉयर. देन वी कम बैक टू विपिन शर्मा बिकॉज फर्स्ट आई थॉट दैट ही इज नाउ बीन फायर्ड. विपिन शर्मा प्लेज द लॉयर फॉर द गॉडमैन in the sessions court and I thought now he's been fired and now another guy has come in but then he comes back so I'm like अरे मुझे नहीं पता है कि ये same timeline में हो रहा है या हम आगे पीछे क्यों जा रहे हैं. So all of that the movie did not explain it to me and I did not know it otherwise also, so I'm very confused on that front.
Yeah, it happens in the middle of the movie where you are kind of required to be more invested, but then that kind of does like a counterproductive kind of thing, right? Where you're like, okay, let's get this over with and let's just move on. Did you like anything?
Yeah, I liked that पूरा sequence where मनोज बाजपेयी की family is threatened and वो अपने बच्चे को लेकर स्कूटर पे जा रहा होता है आइसक्रीम खाने के लिए और बच्चा जाता है and then he looks back and the child is not there. That moment was so terrifying.
Because they set it up and they pay it off, right?
Yeah.
That's what they should be doing ideally in every, like even the courtroom sparring scene. Like you should know as an audience what he is going to do. What are the arguments that he's thinking of, right? What's coming at him and what's he going to throw back? Here they tell you that you're under threat. They say it 3 times. So you're tense, right? When he's out in the open, you see people chasing him. You know what's going to happen. You know the suspects, the witnesses, are being killed on the side. So you know all that. So that's why it works.
Yeah, but that's one of the very few moments that really work. But apart from that, the courtroom scenes I had more expectations out of them.
I like this. It could be like a franchise for Manoj Bajpayee.
कि वो अलग-अलग लॉयर बन के सबके केसेस सॉल्व
करेगा.
करेगा.
PC Solanki बनो हर पिक्चर में. Like what's his name? Pankaj Tripathi is doing 3 seasons. 3 seasons of that show.
But मनोज बाजपेयी के पास तो और बड़ा सारा काम है. That's it, guys. That's all we had to say about Sirf Ek Bandaa Kaafi Hai. Let us know in the comment section what you thought about the Manoj Bajpayee film. Also, let us know what you want us to discuss the next time, and we'll see you then. Bye bye.